Hi there. I have another junk journal that I finished. This is a A6 size 4x6 and it has a real ephemera cover. I made it out of a Rinso ad that came out of a laundry pamphlet. I would say from about the 1950s. I don't really remember Rinso, but the graphics on it are very cool. So and I reinforced it with some heavier paper on the inside, and then I put a cluster on top, and I reinforced the spine with some quilt blocks that I found. So, and I made little pockets on the inside with what I used to reinforce it with. And we'll go inside and we'll look and see what we got here. Here we have a little envelope from 1954. And inside I put a little piece of vintage paper that I found. And we have a little piece of wallpaper, vintage wallpaper. I just ran across this last week and it's really cute. Here's a cluster. That is a vintage rickrack packet on the back of that cluster. And all the clusters are just clipped in. None of them are permanently in, so you can move them wherever you'd like. Little circle punch out of a vintage card jack. This came from a 1930s magazine page. This is from a 1950s how to type book. The paper is really nice. Some scrapbook paper. This is from a game, card game, old map page. Scrapbook paper. This is a book page. This is from an old recipe book that I found estate sailing. A vocabulary card to listen to. Another cluster. It says good on it. A 1930 magazine page. A little bit of tracing paper. It's from a old mechanic book. Build mechanical things. Quite colorful. This was a little address card that I cut down into little cards I thought somebody could use for journaling. Another cluster. Ad from that magazine. A calendar from 1938. On this side it said the American Wedding, and it gives you ideas on what to do for your wedding. Here we have a packet of stamps in a vintage cellophane glassine envelope. Vintage embroidery page from an embroidery book. This is from an old recipe book. Nice paper. Some of that wallpaper. An old dictionary page. In the center we have some old vintage cards, a tag, and a little packet of cut out circles and badges that I thought a person could use for their journaling. And then another card, king, a piece of vintage paper I thought could be used for journaling too, and some green stamps. This is the other side of that recipe page. It says dainty sandwiches. It's a really pretty graphic. Those are pretty. a old receipt, a little more of that address card, fold it over the page. From the 1930s magazine, they say they are Red Cross shoes. I can't imagine. I think when I was growing up I had some saddle shoes that might have had a little bit of this fringe on them, but I haven't seen anything like that in many, many years. Then we have another little cluster. Little pocket piece of music. Some ads. I don't see a date on there, but I'm sure it's 1930s. Another cluster. A vocabulary card says beautiful. The other side of that recipe book. That's handmade recipe book. That's a hand typed that, so it's not just a vintage photo. That's a real photo. That's not a copy. Two nice young ladies with flowers. Map. Other half of that game paper. I think it says the date up there, June 1937. A little pocket calendar from 1955, March. And then here we have a little packet of vintage wallpaper that I added little pieces. I thought you could use it in your journaling. I thought it'd be fun to put a couple pieces in there. And then this is a receipt original from 1910. And I thought that could be used in journaling too. So, and then the back cover, which I think is equally as cool. Turn it this way, equally as cool as the front cover. So, I will put a link below this in the description box to my Etsy store. Thank you for watching.